Hey guys, welcome back to King Fab and Off-Road. Thanks for joining me today as we take a little journey looking at the new Tacoma. I've got a couple videos out of this thing so far, but we're going to be going over some stuff a little bit more in depth, putting a few little things, little touches, just kind of making this mine. I've felt a little uneasy since I bought this truck because I didn't build it, and that's just not my style. Everyone that knows me knows that. I know that, so I've got to do some things to make it mine. Nothing big. We've got a few different things planned, so I'm going to go over that with you. So stay tuned. This will be a fun little episode. All right, so like I said, we're just catching up on some stuff. I really don't have anything huge informational, fabrication, anything like that. But I've got to do some essential things that a lot of people overlook, like get some license plates mounted. Cops don't like it when you run around in something like this without the license plates on there. My problem, nobody else's, but just a little word of advice, make sure you get those put on. Next thing is, this truck came with some like LED pod lights. They're ones off Amazon. I've seen them. They're like $100. They seem really nicely built, and I actually tested them on like 12-volt power when I bought the truck, and they're actually really bright. So I'm gonna get those run through the truck and just add some actual under rock lighting for if something breaks, or when I'm rock crawling, I got some lights. So that's another thing. Then the other stuff we have today is I'm going to be doing a full tune-up with spark plugs, Toyota spark plugs at that, on this puppy. I have a slight hesitation under light acceleration, and I think that's what it is. I bet they're original or not looking good, one of the two. And doing an oil change. I also have a video of doing an oil change on this. I won't do a video on that on this video, but it actually had some nasty oil in it when I bought it, so I need to get the old oil. I say the old oil, the new oil I just put in about 1,000 miles ago, and get that put on there with a nice Toyota filter, so I feel a little bit better about that. Make sure everything's all good. And then the final thing that we're going to be touching base on is actually talking about my link setup and doing some changes. I've been promising you guys, if you're following, I have the Northwest Fab. It's not a dual transfer case, but it's where you add a case or planetary in front of your other transfer case. You can look into it if you don't know what I'm talking about. And that's on its way. I mean, they're supposed to have it in the mail any day now. I'm so anxious because, as I was just saying, I have to do some reworking of the rear suspension, because right now I actually have, a bar running across the back of the frame to make everything flat. I say I do. The people that built this before me did the 4-link that way because it's triangulated in the rear. It works well. But what's happened is I have a drive shaft angle where out of the transfer case right now, it's running uphill over that bar onto a to the carrier bearing, and then runs back down to the pinion. So right now I have my pinion rotated up, trying to combat that that angle, so I don't have noises and stuff, because I drive this on the road every day. I'm guessing the person that had this before me didn't drive it on the road very much, because it's super annoying. It's not good on U-joints, and it just needs fixed. So we're going to go over my plan on changing that and stuff, so that way you know and what to expect when I do get this kit in, because it's going to be an awesome video when I can get to that. So stay with me. It's going to be a fun episode. We're going to go over all this stuff, run those lights, do some tuning up, and going over stuff. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Stick with me. Cool. Front plates on. Someone had put some 14-headed bolts in there to hold these on, so I had to drill the holes out just a little bit. That's on. Let's move to the back. Something cool that I thought I'd share with everybody. It's not really a big deal, but if you really use this truck, it's a cool feature. Let me get this little bolt out of here, and then I'll tell you what I'm talking about. Show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so cool feature on this truck is it's got a flip-up license plate. I mean, they thought of it all. I would never think to do that, because I probably would never haul much with this, but if you really needed to, there's your hidden receiver, your plug mount. You put this down, you put the bolt in the lower half of it, and it holds it down so no one can open it, take it. I just thought that was pretty cool. Anyways, I'm gonna get an Allen head, take these loose, get my license plate thrown on there, and license plates are on. A little bit of moment of silence for Goldie's license plate. We had a lot of memories with Goldie, and Zach is enjoying it now, and he said it may be up for sale, so if it is, I will let everybody know. I contemplated even buying it back, but I don't know, it's a lot of money. But anyways, yeah. So long, Goldie, for real. It's the last remnants I have of her. Hang that on the old license plate wall. Okay, next order of business, which you can't see worth a darn. I have actually, believe it or not, being the Toyota guy that I am, I have never replaced spark plugs on one of these generation 4.0s. I have on a newer one, which they're the same thing, but looks like coils are just right there where they are, even on like a 3.4, not too hard to get to. I'm not gonna do a whole bunch of videoing on this. If you guys don't know how to change spark plugs, you'll figure it out when you get under the hood. That's all I can say. It's not really worth getting the camera down in all these nooks and crannies. If you have any questions about it or something when you go to do it, please let me know. But this isn't something that I think needs to be videoed really. So I'm gonna do that next. Get the oil drained out of this. You've seen me do that as well. Get the Toyota filter on there, some oil, and this thing will be tuned up and hopefully running a little bit better. So I'm gonna get that done, and then we'll get on to the suspension and measuring some stuff, going over some tire situation I got going on. I want some opinions from you guys on tires and stuff like that, so hang with me. All right, guys, 4.0s, super awesome to get to the spark plugs compared to some of the stuff I work on every day. Super happy. But I will say there's nothing better than replacing your spark plugs and having a hunch that that's what your miss was, or your slight hesitation under throttle. Things like that happen when your plugs start, your tips start wearing down. Now these are all NGK Rs. I can't remember if these come with NGKs or Denzos. I'm not really sure, but either way, these have been in here a long time. They literally, I just gapped a couple of these just with the gapper, and it's almost at 90 thousandths. They're supposed to be like 35 to 40 or something like that, maybe 38 to 42, I don't know, something like that. But these are super tall, so they're all like that. They're all even. There's none that are nastier than the others, so that's nice. They've been wearing even. Cylinders are probably all healthy. So I got the one side done. I got the other side out. I'm gonna put the rest in that side and call the spark plug job done. Okay, everything on the to-do list is done, except I did not install these lights, which actually I did. But once I ran one of the wires and had it kind of where I wanted, I don't like how they mounted, and with the lights off and everything, they are super blinding if you look at them, but if you put them up in your wheel well, they're not enough. I don't know what they're really meant to be for, but they're not going to cut it for rock lights for this truck. So I actually opted to undo what I did. I spent about an hour and a half routing the wires and hooking everything up and got it all routed nice, and actually didn't like it. So anyways, no big deal. But on to the next thing here is I'm going to crawl under the truck and kind of explain to you what I plan on changing when we put the new transfer case setup in there, and everything's going to be scooted back 6.5 inches. So I'm going to be changing drive shafts, links, everything. So I'm going to crawl under there, show you that, and wrap up this video. Okay guys, I sincerely apologize for the bad lighting, but I'm hoping that this will give you a little bit of insight to what I'm doing. They have this flat bellied essentially, and that works. It's just you can't have your drive shaft angle come up and then back down. So as you can see here, I have my pinion angle way up just to combat this angle coming up and then back down. But anyways, I plan on taking this whole setup out, moving these links out just a little bit, not very far, literally like an inch over, and putting a hoop right here, so that way I can run a one-piece drive shaft just through here like normal. Get rid of the carrier bearing, the two-piece all together, and like I said, just one piece from front to back. So that's the plan. If anyone wants to chime in on, you know, some fancy ways to make this work without dropping it too low, I'm all ears, because right now I have my exhaust right here is literally cut into this cross member, and then here's the lower link bar. So it's gonna be hard to package it all, but I think we can make it happen. As well as whenever this gets moved back 6.5 inches, I'm gonna have to rework my horse collar here that holds up the transfer case. So a lot of things will be changing, but all in all, I think it'll be worth the while, because it needs the gearing, and this drive shaft situation is very annoying and needs changed as well. So anyways, that's that. All right guys, it's the next day, and there's one thing the Tacoma doesn't have yet that I gotta put on there, and that is King Fab sticker. So I'm gonna get a couple of those put on, represent for the channel, of course, because we got to. And I just wanted to reach out to everyone and say thanks for watching this little short episode of not a whole lot. I'm really gearing up to having some more stuff coming up on the channel, as far as the transfer case stuff I was talking about, changing the link stuff. That'll all be fun, so hang tight with me. We got some cool stuff coming. But anyways, I'm gonna get these on there and call this a wrap on this video. So thanks guys for watching, and I will catch you next time.